Hi.
I was like, whoa, I recognize that book. It's so good to hear those that I was able to hear, which is most. That's incredible work. I'm feeling it. Yes, inspired. I'm like, I gotta write a love poem. I don't know what I'm writing it to, but I'm gonna write one. Hold on, I'm finding the one I'm gonna start with. We're gonna kind of mix it up. We're gonna do a little bit of a lot of things here tonight. If y'all are good with that, that's what we're gonna do. And this is me trying to find something that's not really angry or really sad to start with. I'm gonna be honest. So, I can talk to you about this book is the story of a girl who is seeking to find home. It's in poetic form, and that's kind of what it's about. And we're going to jump into this. In the book, this one is called Questions for Easter, and in the true nature of an artist, I now want to call it Sacrament. So it has a new title than the one in the book because things always change, because they can always just be that much better. The week before Easter, a mother mentions that during the Passion Play, the crucifixion scene is very intense. Parental discretion is advised. I see the choice of exposure when you are white. I get it. The blood and dying. Pain ignites a barrage of innocent questions over the cruelty of people, and no one can shake the images out of their minds. Flash to a street coming to a town near you. History as recent as last week, and I feel blood dripping on leaves and everyday Jerusalem. The fear of Jesus with his dark skin, wasn't it obviously asking to bleed? I hear the Pharisees, and they're dreaming of safe streets, rid of that man calling for what is right, his purity of purpose, affecting criminals, the less than clean, to hear they too are worthy. While across town, a future crucifixion merely existing, hoping his skin won't scream sacred offering tonight. It wasn't that long ago. Babies, my kids' ages, were attacked by dogs, sprayed down by street hoses, and now being shot in the street by a cop for carrying candy, and pummeled in the head for picking up his friend's cell phone off the street. Meanwhile, news footage documents the redemption blood as it pools in the streets like the River Jordan, washing our sins like inoculation, and hearing the mantra of we were scared of his existence. This was protection. Isn't America thousands of crucifixions too deep? Yet we close our windows and curtains in the night, fold up our street signs to not hear gunshots pop off our futures before our eyes. This is privilege, to tuck our babies in, tell them every night to sleep in peace, assuming those dangerous neighborhoods are carved in red like Savior's fate. The flight we do naturally by checking school districts not available to those with generationally less means. We drew the lines in red as though Jesus' breath would speak such atrocities left without economy, and wonder why they so dangerous anyway. We let them be that way. Close our eyes miles away to live our days an American dream, and pray we won't be concerned by tragedies that remind our bodies of the way our Savior's bleeds, in unity with the least of these, needing money for mom's medicine, locked up in prison, or shot on the spot for needing therapy, since brown skin associated them with less than, monster or not even seen, when brown is substance of our world, means by which we all draw breath, doesn't matter how we believe. When a brown-skinned Jesus dies every day, and we consider looking away, is it to protect our kids from violence or ourselves from the discomfort of the blood that love sheds for what is right? What empire are we building? This protection buffer we construct to keep the big world of sin out is a Tower of Babel in our hearts, trying to live in safety and right living. Is a whitewashed depiction of a brown-skinned Jesus dying too much for young eyes? I can't shake the disbelief. Looking past tragedy removes clear understanding of the reality where Christ holds brutal injustice up to the light, and it dies when exposed to love. Is it not truth? This Easter crucifixion is warning against the idol of safety, against the fear that takes out good people publicly, passing off the blame to keep the empire of not our fault intact. We let this happen every day. What happens when we teach our kids to look the other way. So I'm going to delve deep into my pockets. This poem has been pressing on me for a little while. I think Amy Freeze, when she was up here, was like, oh, maybe this is a mental health day. I'm like, yeah, maybe it is. We're going to do, we're going to tell a little bit of a mental health story. This poem is called Reasons I Am Not Suicidal. One, I love tulips, flowers. Tulips are my favorite, but I have obsessed over shades of poppies and battlefields and soldiers who bled viscous blood to pool over puddles, though I don't know what was lost. I just love flowers and dying. I try to come in before dark, but darkness has a way of coming inside and sitting beside me. Just because I carry stars in my chest does not mean the night sky does not carry me. I mean, the darkness is kind of nice, so I don't have to know what happiness feels like, or try to find light in so many corners of this misfit morning where so much is demanded of me. I'm a good kid. I have my skin, a house, job, kids, but my wrists are metaphorically slit. A struggled attempt at keeping blood from pooling in my eyes or your eyes. A struggled attempt at keeping blood from pooling in my eyes. A clawing my way out and back into my perfect, sunny life. My mama and the Bible tell me to keep my thoughts and from sinful ways. Most of the time that means don't think. Don't think about the razors glittering in the back of my brain, burn brilliant, scrape skulls, swallow sharks, hit hard, see red, drowning lights. See, I've never been a violent person, but my thoughts have an obsession with metaphors that draw blood. I bind up the devil and I cast him away, but is my mind the devil if I cannot get the thoughts out of my brain? Do trees fall? If a tree fell in the forest or body, is it heard or seen? Don't you see me? Pretty, like Sunday morning. But I am true superhero, trained in the art of war against my health, self, scare tactics and threats and alphabetic artillery, all locked and loaded. I have raised a two-fingered gun to my head, sometimes shaky, sometimes easy like I'm breathing, and filled it with lead so many times I don't even count anymore. A literatus is a person with literary achievement or an intellectual. By definition, this means I am all up in my head, swallowing these words like blades and hoping they take out organs on their way. It is not a safe place up there. I am hung and left swinging. And it is not so much a metaphor as a pronouncement that I am not suicidal, if by my words I am already dead. And yet, look, here I am. Still alive. The trick to healing is allowing myself to be saved by the feet under my own body. Listening means shutting up the drown of city lights and country days to hear the blood glistening in my own veins, trust the pulse of my own wrist over the machine that tells me it is faltering. I allow my story to blister into roses, dahlias, and daisies. I can handle anything. This war I've been through, my body a battlefield under a remembrance sign for all people. Do you remember the times I could have died? But look, I'm still shining. Look, I'm still climbing. See, I've got dreams and aspirations. Listen, just because someone says one way is not good or healthy, if it's your path, you best not go any other way unless you want to give your dreams to someone else to carry. When we allow someone else to define our existence, we allow them to become our greatest enemy. Look within. See, the heart beating, the rhythm speaks, beats only you can drop, friendships you can make. This world is a treasure map of people helping. No one's a victim here, or stays one at least. It's time to start rising. It's time to rise again. Our sweet souls can be fanned into a flame large enough to warm this whole city. Let it be the breath we breathe. No one else houses our dreams. They are ours for the unveiling. They won't be mirrored until we unwrap and place them in the crook of our arms like our own babies. Everyone in this nation has daddy issues, looking for someone to save them, hold them, when the hero is wrapped around the strings of our own chest. Nestled in, well, safety is not a test, but a simple act of knowing that trees give canopy whether or not we planted or watered the acorns to leaf. What would we do if we knew we could not fail? If we knew no one else's opinions matter? What if being who we are is a simple act of taking one more breath, stepping into the light of the sun emanating from our own chest, the patter of rain under trees in our own breast? What if the trick to healing is knowing how shadow and light play in the forest and trusting the ground to hold us with each step forward? I'm gonna do that thing where I wrote like maybe half of the rough draft of like first, maybe second draft of a poem today, and I'm gonna read that. So it's not actually complete, I don't think, and I don't actually know how I'm going to start it because I don't like the first stanza as it is, but we're gonna do this. Do you guys mind being like, just for fun, just like doing some new, really kind of rough stuff? Okay. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. You see, I was told my true colors were showing today, and it was actually meant to tear me away from my insistence on justice. So this is a call to the golden warriors all. The ones taking hardship in stride, rise. The ones facing fear like a wall, climb. The ones throwing rock at the meek, fall. On the journey to the heights, golden gods and goddesses don't have time to interlope with thieves and small minds. The strength to face the inner battles inside and show up when it hurts sometimes. It's enough to human, because there's no prize like gently holding our own light until the flicker gradually fans into an outbreak of flame. Directing the burn is a skill no one teaches in school, and still takes a lot of breath to dive where the water is lit only by our own light. But it's true. What changes on earth changes the heavenlies, and when I rise, beauty rises with me. The ones most interested in our demise are the ones most jealous of our rise, and yet their attacks have no teeth, see? We have our true colors, and they are blinding, electrifying. Small people with no light will shy away from the glorious sight, and it's okay, because I'm scared too of showing up in the breakthrough. The shift that's happening pulls warriors to fight for the beauty, goodness, and truth of life. It shines if we are willing to hold open our eyes. There is grace for abusers from the heavens, but I choose not to let it be from me. I am protecting my energy. Got cyanide, tourmaline, blessing. I'm choosing each moment to face the truth as a courageous step towards the fruit of singing. That's that short piece. So the Trick to Healing poem is also in this book. So I'm like, I have read from this book. I was just doing it. So I have this book. I also have 1,000 Small. Is my chapbook sized book, and I meant to grab it to read a poem from it. So I'm going to see and hope that it might actually still be in my phone, the poem itself. Because I would like to read a poem from that book as well. They're both available out there for sale, and I also have stickers. Yay, stickers. So you can take them with you. That's weird. You know what I mean? Okay. So this is the title poem to 1,000 Small that's out there. It's a book that talks about a mother's postpartum, battling mother postpartum depression, very small kids. Hard, difficult life. 1,000 Small. It rained today. Forgiveness is a time bomb of roses, both petal and thorn. My daughter at the door. A barb embedded her dog's tender paw. Can he come in? She asks. They romped around a bush playground I watched. The window's pink shimmer let water fall over plates held open. My palms allowed the droplets to spill iridescent petals. I planned to be a doctor, to have a research degree in the Netherlands, to live on edges I could only dream, to have all my work published. Clouds settle low. Dog, daughter, mother huddle close. Dry hands, tweezers, surgery. Release the barb, puddle of blood pools, daughter's tears. I relinquish. In the rain, haze heaves from an earth of what could have been. The pup limps for a minute, returns, licks my hand. 1,000 small whimpers explode to a song. I'm going to finish this one. That's okay. Yeah, pandemic. This is kind of in honor of the fact that we are here and we're gathering, and it's beautiful to be with other people because there's this beautiful resonance that happens when we're all together doing one thing in one space. We make each other better, and Zoom can do that a little bit, but there's literally a bodily, I study a lot of crazy things like somatic therapy and things, and there's literally a bodily increase. It's like, because we are energetic beings, there's a bodily increase of the energy that's in this room. And when there's a lot and we're upholding beautiful things like words and poetry and truth, this amazing thing happens. I mean, you can almost see it, like this shimmer where you can choose which path you're on. It allows more choice when you're with other people because you are able to see other paths. Obviously, it's not perfect. I'm not saying like it's perfect and now everybody's free, but like there is a resonance that happens, and that energy can be super healing. I'm speaking from experience. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is sort of speaking to the fact that we're back together. Right now it's called Then the People, because you'll see why. Then the people put on masks. Then the people looked at public spaces like they were contaminants, the world full of monsters, all people like children hiding in their beds. Then the people began postage stamp screen appearances, seeing movement, not stories. Then the people stared at each other without seeing, so much moving, with no one going anywhere. Then the people looked in the mirror, didn't recognize reflections, faces pulled down with jaws clenched, no one really seeing. Then the people heard the news, skittering like secrets across unused rooms. Then the people cowered, wept, swept it into the closet with brooms, too close for comfort, walls caving in. Then the people knew loss, when every change brings grief, both death and growth. Then the people heard new normal. An unfamiliar dance cannot carry everything. Then the people continued, days and nights still gleaned, harvest of screen fields, planted filters to bloom, the exhaustion that beats on the dirt of their faces, catfishing in a sea of tired beings. Then the people, still moving mouths, unstable internet Picassos, the faces, watching faces, watching faces. Then the people dying, the people wondering, where is there space on this screen house for grieving? Then the people began to look and forgot how to see, smiles behind masks or across screens. We are all uninvited to the party of ease. Then the people asked for water without knowing how to drink. We are all thirsty, Connection, a skill misplaced in the rush of saving a life that no longer exists. Then the people keep asking until their cries blaze a path for entering. Then the people pick up a piece. Then the people take 2 steps with their feet. Then the people hear the music of the ground shift, step into a public space and practice, shaking off the fear that had become feast. The people practice being humanity, living, a new skill for learning. Then the people remember they are people, see the trees, feel the earth, choose to breathe. Then the people stretch their long, tired legs out of sitting, find a rhythm that is fitting. Then the people remember. They know how to ride the tides when they dropped what they were carrying. Then the people took up growing, caring, listening to music, the people and the cries their own souls make when they let themselves be quiet. Then the people are guided to speak kindly to their own tears and let them feed the soil that grows joy out of pain and grief. Then the people take up a hobby, learn the way their body moves when it is happy. Then the people practice like a baby's first steps, loving themselves, accepting differences across time and space, saying no when it serves themselves or their family. Then the people know they are connected, always have been. The people are you and me and you and we, joined together with the love that grows within, living a bit more simply. Then the people become people fully when they remember that it is okay to be human, and human is together, a sometimes hurting, sometimes dancing community. So thank you. You guys can find me and my books outside right now. I am also on Instagram and Facebook for right now. Elaine Hill is me on Facebook, Elaine.SweetNightingale on Instagram, and it's all, you can bug me after, talk to me. Artists like to be talked to, and I'm not, okay, maybe I'm awkward. I don't know. We'll see, you let me know. And all of the books are in much better shape than this one because I have a pet bunny at home, and I found him sitting on my blue couch, eating my book the other day, so, about that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your.
Thank you.
All right, thanks again for Elaine. Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed our show. Please, afterwards, speak and gather, and if any folks are interested in ever performing spoken word, please come to me and talk to me. We'll be coming out with our schedule here probably the next month or so, and not only we'll have art series, music series, but we want to keep our spoken word going as well. So thank you again very much, and you all have a great evening. Thanks.